What is up, guys? So today I wanted to talk about SmackDown, but mainly two things. This is a review of just two things because I feel like those were the most interesting part of the show. So we're gonna start off with the Jade, Cargill and Rhea Ripley promo. So on Monday, kind of had this Twitter thing that was going on that I feel like that was such a non-issue, until Rhea ran to Instagram to kind of break this thing that all of us just thought, oh, okay, like they're just going back and forth. But when she went to Instagram, she kind of broke that, facade that all of us were thinking like, okay, that they're just going back and forth. They're probably like laughing in like, their DMs or something. They're like talking to each other. So yeah, I think that's kind of where it kind of went wrong. But add that with like the whole Chelsea Green, Naya, Piper coming in unnecessarily. Like, what the hell are you doing there? Nobody, like, it has nothing to do with you. So yeah. So after that whole thing, we all kind of had an expectation of, oh my god, like they're probably gonna use this for like the promo stuff that they're gonna do on SmackDown. So we're looking forward to that, right? And so yeah, like it didn't really do that. But also I wanna say, personally, I feel like this kind of makes Rhea a fake demon. In the idea that she's supposed to be this badass, like nothing can phase her, like she's mommy, she's like the eradicator. But then she kind of gets triggered by somebody saying that she's talking to creative and she has to run to Instagram to, kind of talk about how, coming for her personally, like to break the fourth wall, stuff like, I don't know, I feel like that was so unnecessary. And it's also not the first time because, during the Live feud, they were like going back and forth and she was like reposting stuff that her friends were like saying to like bring down Liv. And when, obviously, because like the Liv fans are now gonna like try to like come back at her. And then she again ran to Instagram to be like, oh my god, people are mean and stuff like that. So it's not really surprising, but I think this kind of shows that she isn't the character that she portrays. Which, we kind of always know that these people are like portraying characters, but I feel like a lot of times we kind of get lost into thinking that, okay, this person, like, because they act in this kind of way, like they are like they don't really care. Like Charlotte Flair, she acts like somebody who doesn't care, but also she herself, like, I don't know, right? Because like obviously a lot of things are gonna get to you, but she has talked about how she is, a star. So obviously she is gonna be always, be in like the top stuff. People are gonna complain about how she's always in these places, but she doesn't care because that is what she is. She's a star. So I feel like this kind of breaks that thing of us thinking that Rhea is in the same kind of mindset. Like, she's not. She has shown multiple times to not be that way, right? She doesn't have the thick skin that, like we expect from the character, which, like, not to like fault her for saying, oh, like you should take it because you like cover these things, but I think it's more of an eye-opening thing that just because somebody looks like they don't really care what people think about them as a character, it doesn't mean that in reality they don't, because she has shown by, going to Twitter and, like everything, like even yesterday on Instagram, she was like, I'm so, like Echo is like excited to be on SmackDown, kind of showing that she's dreading it, but like, I know that could just be her playing into it. But even the promo itself, and now we're kind of getting more into, the creative stuff of it. They didn't really address that, and I think it sucked because you could have told an interesting story there, but they didn't. They just kind of made, Jade basically be like, oh, I respect you, which kind of goes away from like other kind of things, right? Like, we expect Jade to not really give an F about anybody else. So for her to be like, oh, I respect you, that just kind of seems like, oh, like they told her backstage, you have to say you respect Rhea, you have to say you understand how she's like this big star. It just kind of seems like it's something that they told her to do to like fix the relationship between them. But you know, it's kind of sucks because you could have told something interesting even if they did, you know, in reality respect each other. But I don't know, kind of sucks. But like, yeah, that promo was kind of disappointing. It was just like, my muscles are bigger than yours. And you know, like, you could read between the lines and, you know, make a lot of reaching to be like, oh, you know, Rhea said that her body is stronger, you know, she's made for wrestling. That could be like her saying that she's a better wrestler. But also the whole Jade Cargill is made for aesthetics. Like, Rhea is kind of seen as this hot, sexy person, but like the only difference that she can wrestle, and we've seen it. But the whole aesthetics thing isn't really something that she can use against Jade, because that's also what she does too. So, you know, it doesn't really, like, I see what they're doing, but like when you dig deeper into it, it just doesn't really make sense. It just doesn't. I see what they're doing, but once you dig into it, it doesn't really make sense. So, I don't know. Hopefully they do something there that is at least interesting, especially when you look at the idea that people were saying that, oh, you know, with this internet stuff, this feud is gonna be better than Liv and Stephanie. But it's looking more like the Liv and Stephanie stuff is more interesting, because now you got people talking about, you know, what Liv said, and now you're looking forward to hearing what Stephanie's gonna say. So that is definitely more interesting than this. But also, to get to the men stuff, the Cody and Drew stuff, that is also, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of kicking Drew out of there, and I don't know, I feel like it kind of sucks because we all had this high hope. So when Drew becomes champion, he's finally gonna be, you know, treated as a top guy. And now it's starting to seem like he's not gonna be in the main event. And like, is he gonna go to Jacob? Because like, I do like Jacob for 2, but when you think that Drew, it seemed like he was gonna be in the main event of WrestleMania, and now he has to go lower, you know, to face Jacob for 2, who he is, you know, like a big name, you know, like he could, like Drew could do worse, you know, like he was in a match with Damian Priest last year. So it's definitely a bump, but you know, it's still lower, like compared to you could have been, you know, included in this match. So it kind of sucks, but I don't know, hopefully they can do something interesting with Cody and Randy. I don't know, we'll see.